Hey everybody, welcome back to Thistle Hill Farmstead. My name's Todd, and today we're going to be working on this Generac generator. I got this off of Facebook Marketplace, and I got it because I need a generator to cut some poles off of a new horse fence that we're building, and I don't have an extension cord long enough, and I didn't have a generator, so I'm hoping this one will do the job. I got it, like I said, off of Facebook Marketplace. The gentleman said his grandfather had left him this generator and had drained the gasoline out of it, and so it should be ready to go. It's been in storage a while, but I'm hoping we can just put some gas in it and check the oil, fire it up, and see if it works. So that's what we're going to do today. Come along with us. So as I mentioned, I bought this generator so that I could run a skill saw that I need to cut the tops of these fence posts off here. We've built some additional 4-plank horse fence on the farm that runs here all the way down to the road, and I need to cut the tops of those posts off. I don't want to do it with a chainsaw because that'll make them too ragged, so I want to do it with a skill saw, and I need a generator to run that skill saw. I didn't do a video on building this fence because I'd previously done a video when we built this 4-plank horse fence, so I didn't want to repeat the same videos and bore everybody, but that's what I got the generator for, and hopefully we can get it running and we will use it to trim up those fence posts. So here's the generator. As I mentioned, it's a Generac C5000 series. It has a couple of different plugs. It's got your standard 120 volt plugs here, 20 amp. You can tell by the little side spar here on the plug. It's got a 20 amp breaker here. Over here we've got 12240 plug, and then we have another 120 plug on a 30 amp circuit breaker there. This is kind of an old school unit. I'm not sure the year model, but you can see it doesn't have any of the fancy shielding around it or guards. It's pretty much just an engine and the generator and the fuel tank. So that's, and obviously the outlets. So that's it. But we'll see if we can get it going. Here is a little bit of the specs on the engine, the model in the series. You can pause the video if you want to take a closer look at that. And it's got some information about the engine up here. If I can get the camera in there. There we go. And then I believe this is a 10 horsepower Tecumseh engine. Yeah, so you can see it says 10 horsepower, cast iron sleeve. Here's some more details on the engine there. And it's a manual throttle here and manual choke. So what I'm going to do, the gentleman I bought it from said it was his grandfather's and he had passed it on to him, but before he did that, he had drained the fuel out, and it does not have any fuel in the tank. So it's all nice, and I'm not sure if you can see in there or not, but it's nice and dry in there and clean. And you can see on the fuel filter there's nothing in the fuel filter. I may need to replace that. And I'm hoping there's nothing in the bowl here on the carburetor, but I want to pop that off and just check that out first. And then we'll check the oil. I can't remember if he said he took the oil out of it. Yeah, it doesn't look like it really has any oil in it, so we'll have to put some oil in it too. The engine does turn, so everything turns, so it's not locked up or anything. So we'll just need to do some quick maintenance on it, and then we'll see if we can get it running. I've got it here on the bed of the truck because this booger is heavy. So let's see if we can take this righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Let's see if we can get this off. Turn it the correct way. seems like it's got a little bit of some green stuff in it. So maybe he had put some fuel saver in there. Let's see. Let's see. All right, let's see if we can get this out here. Okay. And as I said, it's got some green fluid in it, so hopefully that's like a fuel stabilizer or a I'm not quite sure what I'm trying to say here, or a storage kind of liquid that you could put in. Okay, there we go. So that's out. Let's see if we can get the bowl off now. There we go. Yeah, so it does have this green, I'm not sure if you can see this or not, but kind of a green liquid in there. And let me soak that up with the paper towel. It's got a little bit of goo in there. So yeah, I don't know if that's part of the fuel stabilizer or just the old gas. It's got a little bit on the float also, but it looks pretty good. I'm going to clean this out, and then we'll go from there.
A few moments later.
So I got the bowl cleaned out. That was a pretty easy job. I just used some carb cleaner, sprayed in there. So I'm going to put me a little rag underneath here, try to protect my truck bed a little bit. And then I will also spray this down just a little bit. See if we can clean this up some. Ooh, running down my arm. Okay, let me take the breather off here and just see what we get. Yeah, breather doesn't look too bad. Actually, he had a new breather in a box that he had never used that he sent with me. I don't know if this is doing any good or not, but I'm just going to give her some good squirts up in here. Clean everything up. Nice. Yeah, I can still feel a little bit of residue from whatever was in there, whatever that green stuff was. That's coming off the gasket there, that rubber gasket. Let's see. Okay. All right, that should be pretty good, hopefully. I'll do that first before I try to take anything off and take it apart. Probably should have counted the number of turns that that was in that jet that I took out, but hey, we'll figure it out. Okay. Looks pretty good. All right, let's put her back together now. I'll leave this out for right now. Okay, that's the right one. All right. Okay. Just gonna run this in and then back it off about 2 turns. We'll start there, see how that goes. Here is the air cleaner that he had given me for it. Tecumseh. Yeah, that's $10. Wow, that's kind of pricey, I would think, for an air cleaner, but who knows. So this one's new. I'll go ahead and pop this one on. There we go. Put that back on. I got my washer and my wing nut. All right, let's check the oil here and see what we got going on for oil. If I just touch it down in there, it's just on the add. Do not overfill. I'm not sure if this one is one that you need to screw the dipstick all the way in. Doesn't say on the dipstick. Some will say, you know, don't screw the dipstick in to check it. Some will say you do screw the dipstick in, but let's take a look. Yeah, it's still on add either way. It's not, it's just a couple of threads. So we'll see if we can put some fresh oil in it. Also, I don't know if it has a drain plug. Maybe this is it right here. Drain plug right there. And we'll see if we can drain the oil out of it and put some fresh oil in it. All right, I've slid it over to the edge of the truck bed here. And I've got my pan here to catch the oil. And I guess I'll leave that right there for now. Set it up here. And then I've got my adjustable wrench. Let's pop this plug out and see what we get. I'm going to loosen this again so that relieves any kind of vacuum that might be on there. Okay. There we go. Let me get my pan. It seems like we're getting close to the edge here. Well, thought we were. Let's see, is that 7/16 also? Close enough. All right, here we go. We're ready to see what's in it. Oh yeah, it's pretty black. Let that drain, then we'll replace the oil. Okay, that's probably good enough. Put my plug back in, wipe this up a little bit. Okay. All right, all right. That is a 3/8 drain plug. Okay, that should be good. Now let's get some oil for it. Slide it back just a little bit. Now on the front here, it does say for summer use, SAE 30 oil, for winter use, 5W30. I think I have some 30 weight in here. Here's what it recommends for oil. Let's see what we got. All right, what do you know? I did actually have some SAE 30 oil. I'm not sure how much this takes. Got a little funnel here. I've got one of these that's already opened, so I'm gonna put that in. Let's see, it's probably, looks like about half of that one is there. So let's see. Doesn't say there. Doesn't say there either how much it takes, but I would say at least a quart. All right, so that just showed up on the tip of the dipstick, so I'm going to put a little bit more in here. So it may have been, that was about a half a quart, so it may have needed a quart. Let's see. Right, let's give her a little more. Right. Okay, let's check it there. See what we have. Now, in the meantime, while I was filling the oil up, I was messing around with the throttle here a little bit, and I just noticed there is no cable on the throttle anywhere. It's just a lever. So I'm sure it's supposed to have a cable or something that comes back to this to actually control the throttle. So that may be a piece we need to get to see how it works. Or it may be as simple as just getting a little wire or something, or maybe even a spring that goes between there. But I'll look up the parts and see what we need. All right, let's check the oil here. Okay, perfect. It's right on the full line. Let's see if I can show that. It's right there, right on the full line. So that's perfect. So about a quart is what it took. All right. Now, don't know that I really need to check the spark plug or anything. What I will do is put a little gas in it. Hey, I see another dipstick up here. Let's see what this one is all about. That must be maybe oil for the generator part here, the gearbox. I'll need to check that before I start her up and see, just to familiarize myself with this unit and what it requires. So I do see that one there, and I don't know what that's for. So we'll check that, and I'll check on the throttle linkage here. Let me bring you up closer and show you that. So here's what I'm talking about on the throttle linkage. You can see there's nothing on here at all connecting it to anything. There's a little wire here that is the cutoff switch, so I'm sure when you push that down, it grounds it out, cuts it off. But I'm not sure if there should be a linkage to go from here across to here to control the throttle. It makes sense that it would be, but doesn't look like it is there. So we will go and see if we can source a part for that, or at least see what it's supposed to look like. And then in the meantime, I'll also see if I can find out about this little plug back here, if that's oil for this case. This is engine oil for sure, but I'm not sure if this oil plug here is for the case. It didn't have a doesn't have a dipstick on it, so I'm not sure. Not sure if it's just an access hole, or see, there's no dipstick, so not sure how you're supposed to check that, whether it's just full to the top or what that is. But I'll need to check on that before I try to fire it up. So we're getting close. Well, I did a little research online, and I found that there is not supposed to be any kind of linkage here for the throttle. It basically just runs on the governor here. So they said it should seek its own RPM and run the RPM that it needs to run. So I guess this is basically off and on is it. And I couldn't find anything about the this other plug here, so I'm just going to kind of take a look and see if there's any oil in there. Like I said, this plug is on this other case. I'm just going to try to stick a screwdriver down in here. Let's see. There's nothing in there. There's no oil in there. Or at least it's not nothing that would touch that screwdriver. So I'm not sure about that. You know, I hate to start it up if it's supposed to have oil in there. I guess I could start it and see if the engine's going to run, and then if so, I can always research this and figure out what's supposed to go there. I can't get the plug back in now. What's the deal? Come on. What is going on? I put it back in a minute ago with no problem. There we go. Nope. All right. What? I'm going to edit this part out for sure. Can't even get the plug back in. All right. What hoo-ha is going on? Okay, I think that's got it. Just notice it has a little shut-off valve here on the top. That's nice. So let me go get some fuel. Put a little fuel in it. Got another fuel filter too, but I think this one's much smaller. I think I'll go with this one for right now again to see if I can get it running, and then I'll deal with all the other maintenance items. See, that's really strange because this case and that case all look the same. So maybe that's just another fuel hole, because this definitely has oil in it. I don't know why on that side I didn't get anything, but hey, we'll find out. All right, I got a couple of blocks of wood and put under the back so that it would tilt forward just a little bit, because it was tilting backwards on my tailgate. I don't want to put a whole lot of fuel in it, so I'll put a little bit in there and see if we can get some spark out of it. Okay, it's got some fuel. Let me open up this little shut-off valve here. See if we get anything down into, okay, I can see it going down into the filter now. Let's get a little closer. So you can see it's filled up the fuel filter now. All right, so we should be ready to see if I didn't check the spark on it. Didn't pull the spark plug out and check the spark, but I'm kind of trusting that maybe it has spark and we'll do fine. And I'm kind of curious of just the minimum amount of work that I have to do to it also. So let's see what we get. Let's give her a little choke. I think that's choke that way. And pull here. I don't know if I got some. Let's see if we got some fuel here yet in the carburetor. Yep, we got fuel there. That's good. Really, about all we need. It's fuel, air, and spark. Let's see. Okay, she runs. Let me get something to plug into one of the outlets and see if we have any juicerola coming out of her. I'll be right back. All right, I've got my little grinder here I'm going to test with, but I want to check the oil again now that it's run just a bit. Make sure we're still good on oil. Yep, looks good. Okay, it's a little wobbly there. I guess maybe because I have it on those blocks. But, all right, let's try it again. See what we get. How many pulls do you think we got to go this time? Now that it's already started. Let me see if I can get it here. Oops, I have it on the off. Well, give it a little choke again. Okay, it seems to be searching a little bit on the idle, but it is working. So let me go get my big skill saw that I'm going to use to cut the fence post and make sure it's going to run that bad boy, because that's the whole idea of this. All right, so here's this brute here that I have. This is what we're going to use to cut the tops of the fence posts off with. So let's see what we get. Well, there you go. Not too bad. it runs and it generates, it charges. So there we go. That looks pretty good. I still want to do a little bit of research on that secondary plug, and I probably need to do a little bit of adjustment to the carburetor, but yeah, it's working okay. So there we go. That was not as hard as I thought it might be. So that was a pretty good deal. I paid $100 for this generator on Facebook Marketplace, and the gentleman told me he didn't know anything about it, didn't know if it would run. So it was a risk that I took, and for $100 I thought, hey, I could try that, particularly since it's a 5,000 watt generator, and I'm going to use it for this fence work and probably nothing else. So if it gets me through cutting the tops off of these fences, I'll be happy. So if you made it this far, thanks for hanging there with me. That means you must have liked the video. So do me a favor and smash that thumbs up, that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, hit that subscribe button. And then after you do that, remember to ring that bell notification so that anytime I post a new video, you'll get notified. Thanks again for joining us here on Thistle Hill Farm. Until next time.